other products that have to be exported to our largest export markets. The benefits of the FTA haven't kicked in yet. And the reality of global trade chaos is real. But overall, sir, the economy seems to be doing okay. What's your assessment?
Thank you very much, Rishabh. I'm one with you that the government will need to do a few things which are urgent and must be done in a way. And I say this in the context of the fact that 70% of the expenditure of the budget is invariably committed. A couple of percentages vary up and down, but what gets left with the finance minister, as we know, is about 30 to 35% of the 35 at most, are more likely about 27, 28% of the expenditure to be at a discretionary kind of way. Having said that, some of those things which must be fitted in, one would be making sure that our rate of growth of the economy continues, and whatever is required to be done to attain that, we go by it. And in it, we have shown it in one quarter, probably in the current quarter also, it would be the similar story, that we've been able to offset the loss of about $40 billion of exports to the United States by diversifying, looking at other markets. The FTAs, other than the ones with, say, the middle with UAE, Australia, which have kicked in, the others are at various stages, and soon we should start having their positive effect as well during the.
Okay, but I have to ask you, sir. So clearly, I mean, we are not looking at tax cuts this time. We got a whole chunk of them in 2025 calendar year. Both in the last budget, in direct taxes, which apply to all of us, and sitting here, and to indirect taxes, as I mentioned, that apply to every citizen in this country. But what is your assessment of the global situation, sir? Because for a lot of people, these gold prices are spooky. There's a global reset is happening. Central banks are now buying gold and selling treasury bonds. Silver prices are spiking and going all over the place. Trade wars are going on constantly. What's your overall assessment? I'm not even mentioning deep concerns of what happens with these, $2 or $3 trillion of spending commitments in AI and data centers, which many people say could potentially be a bubble. 2008, sir, we've seen it before. You've seen it multiple times in your long career. What's the overall situation?
Volatility is going to be the order of the day. We saw this volatility in the prices of bullion, prices of copper, prices of silver. As soon as just one issue of the President of the United States being able to select and announce a nominee to take over 6 months down the line from Mr. Powell as the next Fed chief, that one small action, I would call it, because it's subject to Senate confirmation, and the chief of the Fed cannot by himself take all the calls. He has to go by a majority of the other governors who are there. Yet, it was able to spook the market to such an extent that the fall in gold was the highest in 11 years, the fall in certain commodities even of a longer record, meaning 15 odd years or so. So if these, in case of silver, I would say we would have to learn to put up with such volatility happening, because whatever we might say, we cannot ignore the size of the United States economy. It is large. What happens here does affect the markets around the world.
Okay.
Number one.
Yes.
Number two
Yes.
point, I will just add one more, that I do expect that one of the major thrusts completing the reform exercise is going to be addressing the customs regulations and the frame of things which exists in the indirect space for customs and excise in India. Excise attended by GST and now customs. And in the customs, we have to reckon with the fact that when you want to make it light regulations there, that you have to be in line with the BTAs, or the bilateral treaties, which we are signing one after another, 7 in the pipeline, and maybe a few more would be taken up. All of them are heading towards lowering of tariffs, bilateral, because we continue to have with us tagged on to us the label that we are a highly tariff-oriented economy. Protectionism is pretty high. We have seen it in the case of Europe, where their average rate was 3.8, ours was 9.4. Yet, because they are also under a geopolitical compulsion, they went ahead, respected our red lines. Others may not be. So I do expect that in order to prepare the Indian economy and the Indian government to be able to sign more FTAs, the government would
Yes.
in this budget, apart from streamlining the customs, also